He collected the mug and went topside. On an ordinary morning, the sight of sailboats at anchor crowned by winking stars would have brought a smile to Daniel's face. But this morning he scarcely noticed them, troubled as he was by the portents of the dream. He sat down in the cockpit and put the mug on the bench beside him, opening the carved wooden chest and laying out paper and pen on the life raft container, which he used as a writing surface. He lit a battery-powered lantern and took a sip of coffee, struggling to suppress the dread her words had inspired. They were wrong. They had to be. The smile, the dress, the violin, the concert hall, all were exactly as he remembered, but her words had carried a different meaning. They had been ironic, not tragic, a welcome, not a farewell. His mind raced on the current of memory. New York City, April 1993. Daffodils blooming in Central Park, buds on the dogwoods and azaleas, a blaze of sunlight chasing away the early spring chill. He had seen the handbills posted all over Columbia University, the Juilliard Orchestra performing at Carnegie Hall. He wouldn't have given the concert a passing thought if not for the photograph of the soloist. Her name was Vanessa Stone, and she was a student at Columbia, not Juilliard, a double major in biology and music. She was pretty, but not remarkably so in New York City's Hall of Mirrors. It was her expression that made him pause, then halt his mad rush to a law school seminar to which he was already late. He took down one of the flyers and studied her more carefully. She held her violin tenderly, her bow just touching the strings, and looked at the camera almost curiously. The question in her eyes was as frank as it was astonishing. "Why are you staring at me?" 2 days later, Daniel walked into the grand lobby of Carnegie Hall, clutching the handbill and the face he couldn't forget. His seat was on the parquet level of the stern auditorium and close to the stage. He settled into his chair and listened to the musicians tune their instruments, annoyed at the butterflies crowding his stomach. At last, she appeared with the conductor at her side. She was dressed in a diaphanous gown that complemented her auburn hair. She nodded to the audience and then placed her violin beneath her chin, waiting for her cue. His eyes never left hers from the beginning of the performance to the end. The music was Beethoven, his first and only violin concerto, and she played it immaculately, even the most virtuosic passages in the Chrysler cadenza. At the close of the third movement, the audience gave her a rousing ovation. She received it with an almost perfunctory bow and exited the stage with a swiftness that confirmed Daniel's suspicion. She had come to be heard, not to be seen. The magic was in the violin. The receiving line outside the auditorium was long, and Daniel took his place at the end. While he waited, he tried on phrases like costumes until he felt more confused than confident. When the moment came and she offered her hand, thanking him for coming, he spoke purely by instinct. "You play like your name," he said. "I beg your pardon?" she asked, taking back her hand. "Vanessa in the Old Greek. It means butterfly." Something changed in her eyes, but she didn't reply, so he forged ahead. "It's like you're somewhere else, in the air, dancing with the sun." She stared at him for long seconds before her lips spread into a smile. "It doesn't last," she said, surprising him with her candor. "It fades like everything else." "But it's why you play, isn't it? Even when it makes you uncomfortable." He saw it then, the inquisitive look she wore in the flyer in his pocket. She tilted her head and her eyes glittered in the light. "Do I know you?" He shook his head. "I'm Daniel." "Are you a student?" she asked, trying to place him anyway. "Columbia Law," he affirmed. "Law? I would have guessed poetry." Suddenly, she caught the eye of the conductor as he bid farewell to his last guest. "I'm sorry, I have to go. It's nice to meet you." She said it almost regretfully.